because we are public servants, we must procure. So public procurement is a sustainable acquisition, underlying acquisition, and at the end, disposal. Another keyword, two keywords there, acquisition and disposal of goods, works, and services by public bodies, by your organization, by my organization, using public funds. The fund in our hands is a public fund, so it is expected that we use it in a manner that is efficient, in a manner that is professional, in a manner that is auditable, in a manner that is transparent, to the extent that is beneficial to the society, and particularly by a third party. There are quite a number of keywords there. All the issue around professionalism, which is what public service promotes, transparency, which is also what civil service promotes, is captured in public procurement. And for you to procure, it should be handled by a third party. That's very critical. Now, let me mention the fact that Lagos State public procurement is guided by a procurement law, public procurement law, that was signed on the 15th of March 2021 by the governor of Lagos State, the current governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. But before then, we were running with the law. It actually started in 2011, in the days of Mr. Babatunde Fashola. He signed the law in 2011. There was a slight amendment to the law in the year 2015. But there was a much broader amendment that permitted public hearing, and which you call the involvement of a critical stakeholder, and that became the law that we are currently using. This was signed 15 March 2021. And I think this needs to be clear to us. Peradventure, you need to state clearly the law that we are currently using. This law has been amended to ensure that we are in alignment with economic reality, and we are doing best practices in Lagos. And who are affected by this law? The law of the agency and every other document, call it regulation, guidelines, extends to any public body in Lagos State that is engaged in procurement, utilizing the state fund, utilizing public fund. And this includes my ministry, your department, your bureau, your offices, extra-ministerial offices, all parastatals, all corporations, all the universities and colleges that are state-owned, all government institutions, all local government and local council development areas, as well as their derivative units. Nobody is excused from following the law in carrying out their day-to-day activities, which involves procurement of goods, works, and services on behalf of the government of Lagos State. There are 6 core principles that guide public procurement. The first one is economy. Economy because resources are always limited. So where we can take advantage of combining a number of things to enjoy some economy or reduction in price, it is encouraged. Efficiency, doing things properly and doing it in record time. efficiency. You don't have to allow or permit delay, because sometimes when you are supposed to do a thing and you don't do it, it may not be achieving the purpose for which the approval was given. Fairness. Fairness. You need to be fair to service providers. You must not be caught promoting conflict of interest. You must not be biased in doing the business of government. Transparency. Whatever you are doing should be done in a manner that is transparent, that promotes what is good for A, is good for B, is good for C, except if they are not participating.